dared me to say her name, but the thing in the mirror wasn't Bloody Mary. It knew who I was and what I'd done. It started as a stupid dare. 3 of us, me, Rahul, and Tanya, sneaked into the school bathroom after hours. The old building was being renovated, and this specific bathroom was locked off. Rumors said a girl once died there decades ago. Some said her spirit lingered. Others mentioned Bloody Mary. The challenge was simple. Light a candle, stand in front of the mirror, and say, "Bloody Mary," 3 times. We'd all heard the urban legend growing up. Everyone claimed it was fake, just a game. But that night, something felt different. The air was colder than usual. Our phone torches flickered as we whispered jokes to shake the fear. Tanya went first. Nothing happened. Then Rahul, laughing, spun in a circle while chanting her name. Again, nothing. Just their reflections, a dusty mirror, and our candlelight. Then it was my turn. I stood in front of the mirror and looked straight into my own eyes. My voice shook slightly as I spoke. "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary." At first, there was silence, no changes, just my reflection staring back, until the candle flickered violently. Then I noticed something strange. The mirror didn't reflect the room correctly. Tanya and Rahul were behind me, but their reflections looked slightly off. Rahul's head was turned, but he was standing still. Tanya's reflection smiled, even though she wasn't. I turned around quickly. They looked normal, confused, even. "What's wrong?" Tanya asked. I turned back to the mirror. There was someone else standing behind us. A girl, long black hair covering most of her face. She wore something white, soaked in what looked like water or blood. I froze. The girl raised her hand slowly and touched the mirror, and the glass rippled like water. Rahul laughed nervously. "All right, you've got us. Nice effect." But I hadn't done anything. I stepped back. That's when the girl in the mirror looked up. Her face was pale, but her eyes, they were completely black. No pupils, no whites, just empty voids. She wasn't Bloody Mary. She was something else. And she mouthed a word I'll never forget. My name. Tanya let out a nervous laugh. "Okay, guys, joke's over, right?" But I wasn't laughing, because the girl in the mirror had said my name, not out loud. Her lips moved silently, slowly, and deliberately. She knew me, and something deep inside my chest twisted, a cold, sinking dread. I couldn't move. My feet were frozen to the cracked bathroom tiles, and my hands had gone clammy. The candle between us sputtered again, the flame stretching toward the mirror unnaturally. Rahul stepped beside me and squinted. "Wait, dude, who's that?" He saw her too. I looked at Tanya. Her face had drained of color. She said your name," she whispered. "Did you see that?" That's when the mirror started to bleed. No exaggeration. From the spot where the girl had touched it. Dark, thick liquid oozed down the glass like blood from an open wound. But it didn't pool on the floor. It just disappeared after running a few inches. I grabbed the candle and backed away. Suddenly, slam. The bathroom door behind us slammed shut. Hard. We all jumped. Rahul ran back and twisted the doorknob. Nothing. Locked tight. "This isn't funny anymore," he shouted, banging on the door. "Hello? Anyone there?" We were trapped. When we turned back to the mirror, the girl was gone. Just our reflections now. Our pale, terrified reflections. Then the mirror cracked. Not a shatter, not a break, just a single deep crack, stretching from top to bottom, like something inside it had tried to punch through. "Let's get the hell out of here," Tanya whispered. We started banging on the door again, screaming. The candle flickered violently in my hand, throwing shadows all over the walls. I looked back one last time. The mirror was rippling like water, and from the center of it, a pale hand began reaching out, not in the reflection, in real life, pushing through the glass like it was liquid. The fingers were long, wet, almost claw-like, and they dripped that same dark red substance. Rahul screamed. Tanya cried. We backed into the far corner of the room as the entire mirror rippled and bulged outward like something massive was pushing through. I don't know what came over me. Maybe instinct, maybe terror, but I threw the candle straight at the hand. It passed through the mirror like it had fallen into a pool, and the hand recoiled, vanishing instantly. Then the mirror went still, dead still, just glass again. The door unlocked with a loud click. We didn't speak, we just ran. But the story didn't end there. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I shut my eyes, I saw her face, pale, black eyes, that smile, that twisted smile. At 3:03 a.m., I woke up gasping. The lights were off. My phone was dead. I could swear I heard whispers in my room. I stumbled to the bathroom, flicked on the light, and there, on the mirror above the sink, written in something thick and red, "I know what you did." I stumbled back. I hadn't done anything. Had I? Then I saw it. A small jagged cut across my cheek. I hadn't noticed it before. It wasn't there when I went to bed. And when I turned on my flashlight to check the rest of my body, there were more. Small, shallow cuts down my arms, like someone had run a razor gently across my skin while I slept. I checked my window. Locked. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. In the days that followed, things got worse. Tanya stopped coming to school. I tried calling her. No answer. Her parents said she was feeling unwell, but I saw her once, from afar, getting into a car. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Bruises on her arms, a wide bandage around her neck. Rahul? He vanished. I got a single text from him 3 days later. Don't go near mirrors. Don't sleep near them. Cover them all. That was it. And then nothing. The police didn't help. I didn't tell them much, honestly. What could I say? A ghost came out of a mirror because we said Bloody Mary's name. They'd laugh me out of the station, but I knew what we'd unleashed wasn't Bloody Mary. It wasn't an urban legend. It wasn't a prank or hallucination. It was something else, something older, hungrier, and it had attached itself to me. Every night after that, I covered every mirror in my house with sheets. I taped the edges. I even smashed the small one in my closet. But it didn't matter, because on the seventh night, even without a mirror, she came. The lights went out at exactly 3:03 a.m. again. I woke up with a jolt. My room was freezing. My breath came out in clouds. There was no mirror, but in the reflection of my window, I saw her, standing behind me, not moving, not blinking, just watching. And this time, she spoke aloud. Her voice was like dry leaves, raspy, cold. "You called me," she whispered. I spun around, nothing there. But when I looked back at the window, her smile had widened, and my arm began to bleed. A fresh cut appeared right before my eyes. I screamed and collapsed to the floor. Then everything went black. I woke up the next morning on my bed, like nothing had happened. No blood, no cuts, just a whisper of a dream, almost as if it hadn't happened at all. I could have believed it was just a nightmare, but on the bathroom mirror, under a fresh layer of fog, was a single chilling sentence: "See you again at 3:03. I didn't go to school the next day. Couldn't. My hands were trembling. I hadn't eaten in 24 hours, and I could feel something like invisible fingers constantly brushing my neck whenever I was alone. Every mirror in the house was now shattered or hidden, but it didn't matter anymore. She didn't need the mirror now. She was already inside. At 3:03 a.m. that night, I sat on the edge of my bed. No lights, no sound, just silence. I held a kitchen knife in one hand, a flashlight in the other, and stared at my bedroom door. Tick, tick, tick. 3:02. The flashlight flickered, and I felt it, the shift in the air, a weight pressing down on me, like the oxygen had turned to water. My heart thudded, my ears rang. Then, 3:03. I didn't need a clock to tell me. I felt it, deep in my bones, and she came. The walls of my room warped. They seemed to stretch, bend, ripple like liquid. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. The knife slipped from my hand. The closet door creaked open slowly. She stepped out, but she wasn't just a girl this time. She had grown, her arms longer, her neck stretched like it had been hung. Her eyes, empty sockets, black as a pit. But the worst part? She wore my face, a distorted, rotting version of me, skin peeling, mouth hanging crooked. Her voice was mine, warped and broken. "I'm what you buried." My throat tightened. What? What do you want?" I managed to whisper. She tilted her head, twitching. "To remember," she hissed. "To make you see what you forgot." Then she lunged. She didn't walk. She crawled, fast, jerking like a puppet, and leapt at me. Everything went dark. I woke up outside, on the school grounds, in front of the bathroom door, the same one where we summoned her. My clothes were torn, my hands bloody. My left arm had long scratches running down to the wrist. I wasn't alone. A girl stood beside me, Tanya. She looked confused, blank. She didn't recognize me, and she had no scars. When I asked her about the ritual, she just laughed awkwardly. What ritual? I asked about Rahul. She paused. Who's Rahul? Something was wrong. Time was wrong. I grabbed my phone and checked the date. It was 7 days ago, before the ritual, before everything. I ran home. No scratches, no messages, no blood on the mirror, nothing. Had it all been undone? Had she sent me back? But why? That night, I didn't sleep. I waited. 3:03 came. The light stayed on. The air was normal. No whispering. I breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe I had escaped. But then I noticed the mirror, just above the dresser, clean, clear. But it wasn't reflecting me. It was her, staring at me. And this time, she wasn't smiling. She was crying. Thick, dark blood rolled down her cheeks as she pressed a finger to the glass. She began to write on the inside of the mirror, in reverse. It wasn't a dream. You didn't go back. You never left. And suddenly, the room around me shifted again, warped, bled. I wasn't home. I was still in the mirror world, a perfect copy of my life, and I was trapped. Now, every night at 3:03 a.m., she comes to remind me. She scratches new memories into my skin, shows me versions of my life outside the mirror, ones I'll never reach again. No one remembers me. I don't exist. Not in your world, at least. But if you're reading this, if you hear a knock on your mirror, if you feel that cold breath at 3:03, don't look and never say her name, because once you do, she knows where to find you, and she never lets go.